So Shazam, or Zachary Levi, is the newest target for AH and all her crazies, because according to them, he posted this at one time about AH. I mean, this, by the way, probably says a lot more than you would think, because this guy is a Warner Brothers employee. You would think that that would say plenty about Future, about Aquaman, and more. Yeah, apparently they've been holding on to this and holding on to it a while, and right now they've decided to try to cancel the man with it. Now, the way that they're doing this will definitely get them blowback. Why? Because Zachary Levi is dealing with tragedy right now, and since the man is trending, they decided, hey, it doesn't matter why he's trending. This would be the perfect time to call for boycotts, to say, hey, look at his past associations, and to make this very clear. I mean, we're not talking about just some random statement on Twitter. We're talking about something that was endorsed by every major Team AH member that is left on Twitter, and it hasn't really gone their way. I mean, they've been getting so much blowback right now that they're having to hide it. I mean, you can see this little symbol right here. They have dozens and dozens of comments they've been trying to hide, just ones that deal with AH, saying, hey, AH, you know who that person is, right? I mean, you did watch what went on in Virginia. Stuff about Zachary Levi, too, saying, how dare you decide this would be the time to try to go after him and more. Yeah, you and I, we're going to look at all of it today, too. Crazy times, huh? Crazy times indeed. All right, so hey there to all you fine folks on this fine day. By the way, I hope you are doing excellently. Talk about an epic screw up here. I mean, this is a colossal one. Why? Because Team AH decided they would get together. They decided that they would try to take down somebody that didn't speak well about AH in the past. They didn't like what they had to say. They thought they would damage them. But the problem here is the reason that Zachary Levi was so noticeable today was because he's dealing with tragedy. That tragedy being the loss of a family member. See, Zachary Levi is trending right now. He had around 18,000 mentions and counting, and that's because he's dealing with something that, well, I've been down this road too. It is a terrible road to go down. I'll say that Team AH, they had no problem bringing this kind of stuff up with other people either, so I'm not surprised with this, but this is a huge miscalculation. I mean, look at what Zachary Levi is saying here, and imagine thinking, yeah, this is the way that I want to go because we can get optimal views. I mean, listen to what he has to say. Papa D, many of you have been asking for an update on my dad, Daryl. Though he fought valiantly until the end, my pop passed away peacefully a few days ago, surrounded by friends and family. Watching anyone slowly die of cancer is one of the worst experiences I can attest to, but knowing that he is no longer trapped in his decaying body and is now singing karaoke in heaven gives me so much peace and joy. Also, knowing how many of you are continuously sending him love and thoughts and prayers gives me even more faith in humanity. Know that he felt and appreciated it all, as did our whole family. Thank you for the overwhelming kindness through such a difficult time, sending you all endless love and light right back. And he also makes a positive statement here too. Hug those you love. Hug them tight. Talk about everything you need to talk about. Say all the things, and when the time comes, release them to a journey back to where it all began. Back to paradise, a place we'll all be so lucky to return to someday. Now, strangely enough, they decided that this would be the perfect opportunity to go after the man because, again, he's gotten a lot of attention, a lot of sympathy because of this, and there was a little bit of controversy too because he put out other statements around this because he's dealing with loss. I mean, when people are dealing with loss, they say a lot of things, and this is what they had to say in return to him. A reminder that this man publicly mocked his co-worker, AH, for being a victim of DV. He made fun of her and encouraged people to harass her, contributing to the abuse and humiliation that AH suffered globally. He is not a good person. Again, imagine deciding you are going to attach that kind of statement to everything that's been going on, because again, maybe you can optimize views. And they did, by the way. They would have normally not gotten that many views at all. They got 95,000, so they're closing in on 100,000. They got over 2,300 likes. But again, they've had to hide the blowback because it's been so big. People calling them out about AH, people calling them out about Zachary Levi, and I love it because you can try to scrub the proof, but you can't really on Twitter. Not at all. Now, personally, I had no idea what they were talking about because there was so much that came up during the trial. I had no idea what a lot of individual people in Hollywood said, but Team AH, oh, they do. They kept a list of this. They kept a list of any grievance. Of course, when they describe it, they describe it like it's not. When you look at what's here in front of you, remember what they said this was versus what you see here. We're just talking about a meme making fun of something that really, it was absolutely absurd. So you have Zachary Levi posting, AH, when she sees the bed section at IKEA. Now, everybody gets the joke there. They understand what was left on the bed. And I love the picture there, too. You have somebody that reminds me, I guess maybe that's Anthony Anderson or looks like Anthony Anderson. He has that classic look. Ooh, yeah, you got a little bit of toilet paper there. And again, this would be funny to most people, but not them. You know why? Because they're doing anything in their power to shield for that person, even if it means going after a guy that actually said, you know what? I don't really want to talk about this much at all. See, back in September 2022, when Shazam was about to come out, Zachary Levi, he was asked what he thought about all of this stuff going forward, particularly because of the connection with AH, Aquaman, DC Comics. And he said, yeah, you know what? I think we should just go on. We shouldn't have any more of this. There's a part of me that just wishes nobody would care about any of that drama as it unfolds because it's not pertinent to anyone's life, really, or making the world a better place. Yeah, he cut these folks some slack. What do? They find a place where you should have empathy or sympathy. And they said, yeah, you know what? We remember you and we want to cancel you. They're not going to cancel anybody, but it's just nasty to see what they'll do.